period. 2020, August 28th, 10:05 a.m. Now, Miramont Castle being a symbolic copy of and there's about 90-ish% of the variables, the construction and the buildings, well, not really the buildings, but the building of Miramont Castle, each room being a mirror, being a semi-close mirror to the buildings, the temples, the structures on the Capitoline Hill. Well, you have the Capitoline Hill and the road to the east and the west. Okay, you have that built perfect. The name of the road in front of the Miramont Castle is Capitol Road, period. You also have the building, the houses and such to the right and to the left, or to the east and west, as Capitol, although they're not quite in the same. They're about 90 degrees to the counterclockwise of that. That's the Capitoline Hill is west-ish, and this is a different angle, period. I made graphics to explain it, but and draw it out and such, but this is not that format, period. Miramont Castle mathematically is a copy of several things, not the least of which it is a copy of the Capitoline Hill. It is also the part of the front ridge of of Miramont Castle is the Mound of Olives in Levantland's Jerusalem, period. Now, it'd be interesting if Capitoline Hill and Levantland's Jerusalem Mound of Olives have a similar frontal ridge to them. Their facade would be interesting if it matched that angle, period. Doubtful, but it is possible, period. Which points to and with the other movie that George Clooney made, which he made immediately after, within the reasonable distance after Monuments Men, he made a movie called Tomorrowland, period. And Tomorrowland, the obvious base plot of Tomorrowland is actually part of this quantum field, quantum cognition, quantum thinking, quantum language. Because you cannot have thinking, a consciousness, without a language. You have to think in a language. There has to be a form of communication to be able to have consciousness, period. That consciousness is utterly important because that consciousness, the language of the consciousness, can be found, can be defined, can be translated, and can be understood in whatever tongue we want to choose to use to translate it into, period. But the Tomorrowland features that futuristic weird place, which is fictionally is poetic license. It is the quantum consciousness, the quantum field, that whole situation there, period. But the other part is that the other portion is they needed to get a rocket to blast into outer space to be able to get a head start, so they can then turn the capsule around and then fire the engines at full throttle to be able to use the planet as a hyper gateway, a Jacob's ladder, for lack of a better description, to go to that place. Now, it was technically speaking set that rocket and tower, period, were technically speaking set in the Eiffel Tower, Paris, France, where Nikola Tesla and Eiffel worked together to build that tower, period. Well, that no matter how true or not true that is, that those same poetic license ideas can be applied to Miramont Castle, because there is an electromagnetic radio telescope built into the Colosseum. The Colosseum is an electromagnetic radio telescope. They just had a facade stuff built into it. The amphitheater and the entertainment venue that was there, the subject of the sport, if you can call it that, period,